get to know Judaism because of you. And they followed you all over, and suddenly they all disappeared. So I really didn't search for them, but suddenly years later, when I was 15 years old, I discovered those people, and they look completely Hasidic, long pants and black hats, and and they belong to another crowd now. So I never had the guts to ask them, you're still in contact with Shlomo? But I know those people, few of them, at least two. One of them, I think, you were Mesader Kedushin also, and he's really known as a very, very, they give him a lot of respect where he is now. I cannot mention names. So they are not, you don't see them anymore in the public with you. But I want to ask you if you see them. And that means if you see them, so you see them only in a mystery.
Let me tell you. It's a good question. I have to tell you two things. First of all, a lot of people who know nothing, right? Sometimes they deal with them. I mean, they know maybe a lot in their hearts, but when it comes to Yiddishkeit, they don't know so much. And let's say I'm their first kindergarten teacher, right? So they think I'm giving them kindergarten stuff. But then they have to grow up and go to university, right? The only thing is they don't know that I gave them university stuff. And they go to kindergarten stuff now. You know, without bragging, my weddings are beyond university, right? My weddings are really gewalt. Then, a lot of people, I was mamish like Megaya, and they were at a lot of my weddings, and then they get married, and they have like a little, and they ask you, how was the wedding? Oh, the dancing was like about. The dancing? The wedding is the dancing? What about the chuppah? Oh, what can you do by the chuppah? You drink wine, you make a few brachos, and you go home. You know what it is? They think they got higher. And then they look at me and think, I was just the beginning. But then there are kids who maybe broke away from me a little bit because they thought I'm giving them kindergarten stuff and they're looking for something better. Eventually they come back and they realize maybe your stuff was a little bit higher. But this is one answer, but I'll give you the real answer. I met this Russian doctor. This is a good Torah. Nebuch, he came from Russia. His wife was not Jewish, and when he wanted to go to Israel, she divorced him. Okay, good. Comes to Israel, he wants so much to get married. So he was the head of the hospital in Moscow, really a top surgeon. But Israel should live long and happy, and the doctors, when a Gewalt doctor comes and not say Gewalt, we got to give him the highest position because maybe he knows more than we do. Remember, they reduced him to be a male nurse. Okay, anyway, he's a male nurse. I meet him, he says to me, you know something? Rosh Hashanah was Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. And there are a lot of Sfardim who prepare real heavy food, right? It doesn't all go into the frigidaire. So you can imagine on Shabbos was very hot. When you eat food which was cooked on Wednesday and Tuesday, not in the frigidaire, let's not even talk about it. He says, I had hundreds of people to whom I had to pump out the stomach. And without sounding coarse, it doesn't smell like, Chanel perfume, right? He says, I was pumping out the stomach of a young lady. When I tell you something sounds stupid to you, he says, I fell madly in love with her. She's just an angel from heaven. But I couldn't ask her address or anything. The next day I'm going to Bank Leumi. I don't believe it, she's in front of me. So I said to her, do you remember me? When she saw me, she ran out. She ran out. And he says, do you understand? She identified me with the smell of her stomach. Because I pumped her out. So I'm part of that pumped out. And it gave me so much strength. All the people who I pumped out their goyish stomach, then they go to yeshiva and they identify me with their own smell. Mazel tov.